We are following breaking news this hour in the Israel-Hamas war.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced Israel has agreed to a U.S.-backed proposal for a ceasefire with Hamas. That comes after Blinken met one-on-one with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu earlier today, as peace talks are expected to continue this week in Cairo. NBC News international correspondent Matt Bradley is in Beirut, Lebanon, for us. Matt, what can you tell us about the terms that Blinken says Israel has agreed to?
Yeah, it's a great question, Kate, and it's one that I don't have an answer to. Nobody really seems to have an answer to it. When asked directly, Secretary Blinken said he couldn't really lay out exactly what the terms were. He did say, and he had said this late last week, that the U.S. and that other partners, which are the Egyptians and the Qataris, had presented what they're calling a bridging proposal. And this is to sort of bridge the gaps between two different forms of the same, very similar agreement that had already been, on some level, agreed to by both parties in the months previous. He didn't say, again, what these terms were, but we know that there are some big issues here. One of the big ones was one that Israel has reportedly added later, which is they want to maintain troops on two different corridors. One of them is called the Philadelphia corridor. That is basically the border between the Gaza Strip and Egypt's Sinai Peninsula. And the other is a street that was actually created by the Israelis during their incursion into the Gaza Strip that would be called, it's called the Netzarim corridor. And this was just named recently. It didn't exist before. And this is a bisectional sort of division between the north and the south of the Gaza Strip. This would allow the Israelis to check people as they move between two different parts of the Gaza Strip. That is a major issue and one that Hamas has repeatedly rejected. But the other big thing is that both sides can't agree to whether or not there's going to be a permanent peace treaty or whether or not Hamas will ultimately be destroyed. And that is one of the things that neither party is going to be able to agree to. Guys.
And Matt, we know Hamas has not been present for this latest round of negotiations. Do we have a sense, though, of where they might stand with these new terms?
Well, we already are hearing from Hamas very resolutely saying that they have already rejected everything. They said that they have already agreed to previous versions of this proposal and that they are asking for the Israelis and for the intermediaries, these negotiators, to simply go back to the previous proposal that they've agreed on. They said that the Israelis have been moving the goalposts. They're the ones who are adding more conditions that they have already declared that they are not going to agree to. And they say, and we just heard from a Hamas official now speaking on Al Jazeera, saying that the Americans are in league with the Israelis, trying to delay this peace process. Guys.
Matt Bradley in Beirut, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.